Yo. Welcome to the Choppin It Up podcast featuring your boy, Jordan.
What up? It's your boy, Eric. Why you got to do the intro like that?
Hey, man, you got to change it up sometimes on these people, bro. All right, so we back at it with episode number 12.
Number 12.
So we have a bunch of just different topics to talk about in the timeline today. A couple things that have been in the news, things that have happened recently. And so let's go ahead and dive in.
Let's dive in. Let's just talk about what something that we already did an episode about. We talked about Nipsey Hussle's legacy and why he was so important to not only the music industry, but to the community and to the world, and what what his life meant. And so we're gonna just talk about his funeral service that happened. Was it last Thursday?
Last Thursday, yeah. Staples Center, LA.
It was at the Staples Center, which is
huge.
Which is crazy.
I don't know if people remember, but Michael Jackson had his, ceremony at the Staples Center. Of course, Michael had a bigger ceremony, but still, it's just the fact that Nipsey has such a big influence on just the LA culture, but really on everybody else. But people loved him in LA.
Yeah, the LA community was definitely.
They showed up.
They showed up. I was listening to someone else talk about it, and they said that it was almost like LA as a whole was mourning. Like, it was crazy. Like, the streets were kind of empty. Like, people were just kind of
they had that vibe.
Yeah,
bro.
they were. It was sad in the city. Like, a lot of people noticed it. Like, there wasn't a lot of like laughing going on.
Yeah.
And but it was crazy because it was free. The tickets to it was free, and it was completely full. Like, the Staples Center was completely sold out.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy. Nipsey left and it's still unbelievable to me that this has happened. But just seeing how much love that he really showed people, showed his family, showed the community of LA. It's just crazy. And so with the funeral, I didn't get a chance to see all of it. It was a long funeral, but I did see some crucial clips about what certain people were saying, because it was just amazing, man, how just with his family, how much he loved his family, how much he cared about his kids and his mom and whoever, like his brother. Like, they were just close. They were selling CDs on the corner and getting arrested for, because cops are like, nah, we're not trying to have that here. But they're like, no, we're hustling. Like, we're hustling. And with building his empire with the Marathon clothing, and it's just crazy to see, and Snoop Dogg was kind of saying how Nipsey was selling him mixtapes,
Yeah, he actually gave Snoop Dogg his mixtape. And in the whole funeral service, we had a lot of people come up. We had YG talk, which is crazy because it was like a blood going to Crip's funeral, which is crazy. It was Nipsey's death, as tragic as it was. It's crazy how it created such a unity in the world.
Absolutely.
Created unity in the communities where gangs were literally coming together and talking about stuff.
Absolutely.
And YG being up there, of course Snoop Dogg, like you said, he was giving some stories, and one of the stories that Snoop Dogg gave was whenever Nipsey gave him his mixtape once, and I'm gonna say what Snoop Dogg said, but Snoop Dogg said that he was rolling up some type of substance, and he was like, you know what, I'm just gonna check out this album. He was actually using the CD as like a place to roll up, and so he put the CD in, and he was like, man, this is crazy. Like, he's going hard
for sure. Yeah.
And so then from there, he kind of created this relationship with Nipsey, and Nipsey was trying to help Snoop Dogg kind of create this empire. And one thing that Snoop Dogg said, he created what he saw for other people for himself.
Bro, Nipsey reminds me of Snoop Dogg so much, man.
He does.
I mean, big time. I mean, it's just we can go into the facial features, the way he talks, but he just acts his spirit is just like Snoop, bro.
They just love people.
Yeah, man, they love people. They do a lot for the community. they have a lot of different, businesses, and they do a lot of different things. Like Snoop Dogg was doing all type of, different stuff.
Yeah,
and
he got that like little league, like football league.
Yeah,
that
he's
got
doing a
where
lot, bro. He's giving back. He's investing into kids,
into the community.
community.
Saying that they don't have to go the same path that that he did or that somebody like in their family did. But it was crazy to see all these people just give love. I mean, we had Obama sent in a letter,
man, and went into details about just how good of a person Nipsey was, what he did for the community. Community is definitely the biggest word for Nip, because that's what he was about. It wasn't
Unity.
just him. He wasn't just, oh man, I'm making money now. I have my own businesses. I rap. I do all, it was all about giving back.
Yeah, it was about unity. I feel like that's a great way to kind of describe who Nipsey was
Absolutely.
Unity and community and just love. And it's crazy, after his death, a lot of things were starting to kind of come out of what, like, some of the things that he was kind of working on, some of the things that, he was living up to his name.
He was.
It was reported that he gave jobs to over 41,000 people.
Unbelievable.
A single person was able to do that, create 41,000 jobs.
Let me say this, man, and this is kind of like off the track, but it's funny how, of course on Twitter we were scrolling and we see something like that, but I haven't seen none of the big headlines talk about this.
I haven't either.
I haven't seen CNN. I haven't seen Fox News. I haven't seen none of them, especially not Fox News, but I haven't seen none of them.
Yeah, well, I mean, talking about Fox News, man, I mean, you had that whole
Laura Ingraham
thing with Laura Ingraham was literally laughing and making fun of Nipsey's death. And
that's sad, bro.
It frustrated me, man, honestly, how you could
Let's be respectful, bro.
Be so low into not respecting a person's life.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't matter if you don't agree with the things that he did or whatever, but, like, this man loved and cherished his community and his people, and he was doing positive things, and for you to sit there and just make fun of him and just bring him down like that, like, it wasn't cool at all.
She was looking at all the other stuff, and she wasn't looking at the stuff that he was doing and was still currently going to be doing in the community, and that just got overshadowed by a song that him and YG released. And so it was just like, okay, of course the song is, it was a little bit different, but at the same time, you don't be that person.
Yeah, don't let your politics overshadow the fact that this was a human being's life that was taken away.
Don't let the politics overshadow the person, bro.
That's crazy to me, but
I can go all day.
Yeah, me too. But according to some more reports and stuff like that, the projected value of his investments made between 2013 and 2019 add up to 210 million. 210 million, bro.
Yeah, man.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, man. That just shows it to you, bro. He came from nothing and was making a name out of something. And even with him not really having, his music was still blossoming. It was still getting to the point where people were noticing.
I mean, last year he was nominated for a Grammy.
Yeah, and that's incredible too. But man, he was working, he was hustling behind the scenes, and people were starting to notice. But man, that's 41,000.
To me, that's encouraging, man.
That's, bro, and that gives me more motivation, just because you know me, like I'm an entrepreneur, like I have visions, and I want to have an influence like Nipsey did on others, because I want to give people the opportunity to find jobs and to be able to create something for them, so that they don't have to worry about other things. And they came from the dirt. I got you. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take care of you as long as you do what you got to do. But stuff like this motivates me, man, because I didn't come from where Nipsey came from. And so it's just like, to see him come from there, I gotta hustle out here, bro. Yeah, the right way.
I love seeing all these posts about the marathon continues, because it motivates me, man. It really motivates me, and seeing his life, seeing how encouraging he was all the time, just always speaking life into other people.
He was smart, bro.
He was just a genius.
He was smart, and people don't notice that. People think, because he's saying all these
because
crazy
he's a
lyrics,
rapper or whatever. Like,
he's
that's
supposed to be dumb.
All that they know.
Dude was smart, bro.
He was really tech savvy. Like, he was reading books like all the time. He's
reading, bro. I remember Lauren London said something about him always having some headphones in, listening to audiobooks, because he's always trying to feed his mind just some good information about business, and just leadership qualities and everything.
Just learning something.
Just learning something. Like he was into it, bro. He was focused, though.
He was a. I hope this isn't a derogatory term, but he was a nerd.
No, he was
a nerd. He was a nerd, but he was still like, he was a thugged out nerd.
Yeah, he was straight. He was a thugged out nerd. But man, he did a lot of research. He did a lot of putting in time behind the scenes, learning different stuff, and so
cared about things.
Man, he cared about a lot of people too.
But kind of going somewhere with this. Someone that does not care about things, someone that we shouldn't really care about.
I believe I can fly.
More like I believe that I am broke. So R. Kelly, we're just gonna give you guys an update on what's going on with R. Kelly. He was, of course, he's not able to tour and stuff like that and make money, so he had a little bit, something.
No, let me say it like this, bro. Basically, what had happened was he opened his phone, right, and he had, an overdraft charge from Chase because he was negative $13 in the hole.
What? So you're saying I'm richer than R. Kelly?
Bro, we have more money than R.
Kelly. If you got $14 in your bank, you are richer than R. Kelly.
You are rich than R. Kelly.
Motivation.
Let's go. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, so what happened was he had $150,000 in his bank account, but they were seized in order to settle a debt with the former landlord.
He took that L, bro.
How are you?
That's a lot of money too.
Imagine your landlord just being like, "Hey, man, I just need to take that out of your account real quick."
No big deal.
And then you open up your account and you were like, "I'm good. I got $150,000. I'm fine. I'm straight. I'm good for a little bit." And then you look at your account and you got negative $13.
Man,
that's what's that.
Honestly, man, it's sad. Honestly, it's funny, but it's sad.
That man's life is sad. It's sad. He's canceled.
Yeah, and, it's sad, bro. He did it to himself, man.
And and he's broke. But
he broke in a joke.
Talking about being broke, we're gonna move over to the Samsung Galaxy Fold phones. These phones are broke.
These phones are clean,
like
bro.
Actually broken.
These phones,
they look really cool. But what's been happening is that Samsung sent over a couple of units to some reviewers and tech bloggers and stuff like that. And what was happening is that, like, after a day of use, they were breaking. Like, literally, the screen was breaking. So if you haven't seen it yet, we'll put a picture of what the phone looks like here. But the phone was literally like breaking, like the screen was going black.
Man, that's why people just need to stay with iPhones, man. I mean, iPhone, Apple, they have their issues too. I ain't gonna front, but these I feel like these Samsung, even though these phones are clean, it's almost too clean of a phone to where it's like, okay, nothing's gonna break. And that screen folding like that, there's got to be something.
It really worried me because I watch people like open and close it and then like, and I'm like, what's going to happen?
I feel like you have to get about 5 phones a year.
What's been happening is that some people, so you know how when like phones, you get it out of the box, like you can peel off the screen stuff that's on there.
Yeah.
So someone that did that was MKBHD, who's a well-known tech reviewer and influencer.
Yeah, my boy.
You know who he is.
We go way back.
So he thought that there was the screen protector, and he usually removes those things, and he was going in to take it off, and he noticed that like as soon as he was trying to take it off, that it wasn't coming off, and then he tried a little harder, and the whole screen went black and started bugging out on him. Yeah, turns out he wasn't the only one, because on Twitter everybody was like, "Yeah, my phone's broke too."
Hey, but honestly though, if you think about it, it's probably a good thing that this is happening before they actually release, because I know they release April 26th, which is next week, and so maybe, and I'm sure people are putting their pre-orders in, but maybe it's a good thing that some of these tech companies are getting the phones first to review them before they go out to the masses, so people, people know not to do this, or maybe Samsung will fix some things. Yeah,
and which Samsung, they gave a press review in which they said, we are aware of the issues going on, blah, blah, blah. But they said the main display on the Galaxy Fold features a top protective layer, which is part of the display structure. The statement said also that removing the protective layer or adding adhesives to the main display may cause damage.
You see the iPhone.
And that they will be letting customers know not to do that. That they'll make it like, hey, don't do that.
On the front, the little paper thing or like a little notebook thing that says, "No, don't do that. Don't do that."
Yeah. But so Samsung Galaxy phones are being broken and ruined.
That means Apple is about to be making bank.
Honestly, maybe it might be making people switch over, but
I need to.
Talking about some things that are also disappointing. People out here spoiling Avengers, bro.
Hey man, look, I'm about to be the same thing. I'm gonna put a clip on the Instagram page.
Bro, I promise you, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna block you, bro. I'm gonna block you if you do that. So what happened was that apparently they're saying that someone in the Middle East, and they're saying that because the footage of the spoiler thing that happened had subtitles in like some language from like the Middle Eastern place, and so it was filmed on an iPhone or something like that. But what it's 4 minutes of spoiler filled scenes. Like it spoils like the end of the movie basically.
Hey, it's a 3-hour and 2-minute movie, bro.
It's still not okay.
You're gonna be tired in the mud.
No, I'm trying to watch the entire thing. Church prepared me for this. And so
shots fired.
And so basically what's happening is that some people are like sending this video around on the internet.
Yeah, don't spoil it.
And they were like I saw like something on Twitter about like a hashtag of like Endgame spoilers, and I was like, yo, I can't be on Twitter right now. I'm scared.
I'm gonna retweet.
And what happened is that the Russo brothers actually put out a statement where they wrote a letter, and then they posted it on their page on Instagram that said, please don't spoil the movie. Mm-hmm. If you happen to come across this stuff, just don't repost it, don't retweet it, don't do nothing that is going to spoil the movie. I personally will backhand whoever spoils this movie for me because I'm excited about it. And
man, I feel like this movie is about to be like starting next week and then going to Thursday night when it comes out. I feel like this movie is gonna just cause like an uproar, bro.
I'm scared because I feel like leading up to it, like on the Thursday, on the day of, I feel like someone's gonna have already watched it and they're gonna say something, and I'm gonna be like,
honestly,
did you say that?
Like if you be honest though, like you might have to really just like not be on social media for a couple of days.
I might have to afterwards, and that sucks, but I might have to do that. But another thing we wanted to talk about, and just kind of to close out the episode here, is this whole Old Town Road thing that's going on.
Take my hand to
so what happened was that the original song made it on the Billboard's like country list or whatever, and it was up there, and then Billboard was like, nope, it's not a country song, and then they like kicked it off, and then Billy Ray Cyrus said,
I got you, homie,
I can fix that. You like from Holes, you remember?
Yeah.
I can fix that.
Yeah, I can fix that.
And so what happened was
it's hilarious, bro.
The Yee man himself, Billy Ray Cyrus, said, let me hop on the track real quick.
Billy Ray trying to get them royalties, bro.
And then so what happened next is that they put out the song, and then it makes it to the #1 spot on the Hot 100,
bro, on
Billboard.
And I feel like it's gonna be there for a long time. Especially like in the summertime, bro. People gonna be doing all type of just exactly.
And so it's crazy to me to think that a song was on the Billboard list, and then they were like, nope, and then came back on. I personally don't think that it's that great of a song, honestly. And
it's catchy though.
He says that it's I think at first he said it was a parody, but now he did that Genius interview where he said, this song's about like, coming back and like all this stuff. It's about, and I'm like, man,
hey man,
shut up, man. It was a meme. It was fake.
He got that one hit wonder, bro. He'll be good.
And so apparently, not apparently, but you've seen it like on Twitter, on all that stuff. Like there's meme videos where it's everywhere, everywhere. It's infiltrated everything.
It's gonna be worse in the summer, bro.
And
I think.
I mean, there's like different remixes of the song. Like he says that he's gonna perform the song, and all he's gonna do is live tweet and just have it looping in the background. He said there's gonna be an album where it's all remixes of the song.
Oh my gosh,
like
bro.
He's really, really like
hey, man,
trying.
You know what the thing is, dog? I gotta give him props, bro. He's doing this thing, man, to really get people's attention
and making money
and make a bank. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You gotta do what you gotta do to make money.
You might not make another hit song again.
Someone that doesn't feel that way is Mr. Dave East.
Yeah, Dave East does not like the song at all. Yeah.
Came out and put out a video on Twitter, I think, and where he says a lot of expletives and says he does not like the song and that he's upset about where hip hop is right now and where hip hop is going with these kids and blah blah blah, saying that they don't really appreciate hip hop for what really is supposed to be, and
I mean,
he's hating on it, and I don't know. How do you feel about this whole thing?
I don't necessarily disagree. I think he could be just a little bit too, dramatic about it. But I get his point, though. Like, of course, this is supposed to be like a country hip hop song. That's cool. Like, that's cool. But let's not pin this on just hip hop overall. Like, the Lil Nas is just doing his little thing. He's having his little fame.
His little.
But his little. No, but what Davis is saying is basically like, look, that's the song is to him is whack. Like,
yeah,
I'm not a big fan of it either, but I think it's just like, look, hip hop. Hopefully, hip hop doesn't go into this route where we're making songs like this, to where people just are having a good time listening to it because it has a different vibe to it. Like, let hip hop still be hip hop. Like, let's not change anything about it.
Yeah. So I feel like maybe what you said, it maybe the way you said it, maybe you're gonna look back and be like, I didn't mean to say it that way.
What about?
Because you said like that it wasn't about like having fun and stuff like that. But I feel like I know what you're saying. Like, this song's like a really like funny, like has
it's
no
like a
meaning.
Joke almost.
Like, yes, exactly.
Yeah,
so this
that's what I
song's
meant,
like almost like a parody almost.
Yeah.
Of like music, but I get that. Like, I'm just like, I personally don't think it's that great of a song. People think it's funny, and that's the thing. People think it's a funny song to. Like, no one's like, actually, if you're actually sitting down and you're like, the
like,
town, bro, and like actually like in the car, like bumping this song, like, yeah, this is the jam. Like, okay, like,
yeah, I mean,
how about you go listen to Pac's album or something?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's what I'm kind of saying, bro. Like, let's just, okay, cool. Like, let's have fun with it, but at the same time, like, hip hop is hip hop, bro.
Hip
like,
hop,
let's
you respect it.
Yeah,
you still gotta respect it. You still gotta respect it. But
like, I'm not saying this is like a slap in the face to hip hop, but let's just not let this be consistent, I guess.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
But so we discussed all sorts of stuff today. Let us know if this is something that you guys enjoyed us doing.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this episode. It was kind of like almost like a rapid fire kind of thing.
Yeah, which is cool. Yeah.
Let you guys know about a lot of things going on in the world.
Yeah.
But let us know if this is something you guys like, this format.
Like this.
We got more episodes coming out soon. We'll link the episode with where we review Anderson .Paak's album.
Oh yeah.
But this was episode 12.
Episode 12, bro. We doing our thing, man. We doing our thing.
All right, catch you guys later.
We're out.
Peace.